Woody's too old and tired to care about being played with, so he doesn't try to do anything. The cat's behavior is highly amusing, but doesn't make much sense as none of the toys smell like meat or catnip. Also, Bo Peep's plan to jump over the aisle would make a lot of noise, which would wake the cat up, and it would greatly increase the chance of them being spotted by the dummies or humans. Woody's life with Bonnie being incredibly boring and Woody's adventures with Bo Peep do a very good job setting up the theme of how it's important to do what you love. Once upon a time, there was a toy named Woody. Every day he sat in the closet doing nothing. One day, Bonnie creates Forky. Because of that, Woody has to go out of his way to protect Forky. Once upon a time, there was a toy named Woody. Every day he protected Forky from throwing himself away. One day, Forky is captured by Gabby Gabby. Because of that, nothing really. Forky being captured doesn't lead to any character development. Buzz Lightyear isn't really relevant given how much he has regressed to the point where he thinks his voice box has its own consciousness. All of the conflicts that Woody experiences in this film are conflicts that were already experienced. In fact, they can be matched one-to-one with the previous films. In the first film, Andy gets Buzz Lightyear, who becomes Andy's favorite, yet doesn't know that he is a toy and therefore tries to get back to Star Command, which causes Woody and Buzz to be taken by Sid. In the fourth film, Bonnie creates Forky, who becomes Bonnie's favorite, yet doesn't know that he's a toy and therefore tries to get into the trash, which causes Woody to end up at Second Chance Antiques. In the second film, Woody meets Jessie, Bullseye, and Stinky Pete, who don't want to be played with and want Woody to join them. In the fourth film, Woody meets Bo Peep, who doesn't want to be played with and wants Woody to join her. In the third film, Andy never plays with Woody. In the fourth film, Bonnie never plays with Woody. The ending is that Woody leaves to be with Bo Peep and to be played with. This could have been a good ending, but not only does Woody's entire plan rely on Bonnie not noticing his absence, but there's little explanation as to why Woody isn't being played with by Bonnie. One reason that the ending was poorly thought out is the lack of believability in Woody and Bo Peep's romantic feelings toward each other. In the first two films, Bo Peep was a calm voice of reason, counter to Woody's neuroticism, but in this film, Bo Peep is no longer like that. It is clearly established in the previous movies that toys don't need sleep, yet Forky escapes in this movie because Woody fell asleep. Woody then chases after Forky wide awake and doesn't have to sleep for the remainder of the film. This wasn't really relatable to the audience of the previous films for two reasons. A, this movie was released 9 years after the third film, but only takes place 1 to 2 years later, which contrasts with the second and third films. And B, this theme is the complete opposite of the first three films. This film started development right after the third film was released and was delayed twice to allow for script rewrites. Doing a sequel to a series that was once incredibly popular was definitely an obvious choice, as it isn't a necessary follow-up to the first three movies. There are many examples of character undevelopment. A, Bonnie doesn't play with Woody at all, even though when we last saw her in Toy Story That Time Forgot, Woody was one of her favorites. B, in the flashback we see that Bo Peep had already developed into the character that she was in the main part of the movie, while in the first two films she was very timid and meek. In my opinion, Bo Peep should have been very afraid of being sold and Woody should have reassured her. Then, in the main part of the movie, Woody can see how much Bo Peep has changed. And C, Buzz Lightyear is now a comic relief character. This movie is based on the ridiculously improbable premise that Woody would encounter Bo Peep. In the first three movies, the premises were all a lot more realistic. It is very difficult to understand why Woody would choose to be a lost toy, as a lost toy's life only seems frightening and stressful, and Woody doesn't have that spirit of adventure that would negate that. All that Gabby Gabby wants is Woody's voice box. This is a lot less than what Sid, Al, Stinky Pete, or Lotsa wanted, especially if Woody can get a replacement. The original script of this film was a romantic comedy between Woody and Bo Peep. If this element had been kept, then there would be some originality, but this element was removed entirely. Woody's character motivation never changes at any point. All that he tries to do is return Forky to Bonnie. It sure is convenient that Woody encounters Bo Peep. This movie was originally a romantic comedy between Woody and Bo Peep. It was changed so that Woody's fear of not being played with could be factored in. As I explained in point 10, it is very difficult for fans of the first three films to relate to this film. Woody encounters Bo Peep and decides that being a lost toy like her is better than being with a single owner. Also, every other character shows up.